Hi everyone, it's Sophia again and welcome back to the Franny Vet channel. So today I'm kind of just gonna go sort of ad lib. I'm not really gonna edit this. I'm not gonna try and use the microphone. I probably don't look very good right now. I'm just about to go into night 6 out of 7. So I've chucked some BB cream on and I'll have to do to make me presentable. But I just wanted to kind of make a video about this topic before, well, it's always going to be topical really, but while it's still topical, a lot of people are talking about it at the moment on social media. I don't really know if anyone who's not veterinary is actually seeing it on their feeds or anything like that, or if it's just purely because obviously I follow a lot of other vets and nurses and receptionists on social media that I've worked with in the past, and we're all sharing these posts that in the past 2 weeks 3 more vets have taken their own life. I did want to try and find some information about those 3 individuals to sort of pay my respects at the start of this video, but I couldn't find any information about them at all. Maybe they just, families wanted privacy, everything like that. But obviously, you know, it's such a waste, and that's happened. I hope they can rest in peace, and I hope that the families can find some closure and healing from that. What I wanted to actually say today really is that everything that I've seen on social media, and I've seen several different posts, basically variations on the theme, and the only thing that I've seen people talking about is that we should all be kind, and, you know, be kind to vets, otherwise they might kill themselves. And I just feel like, first of all, this is an extreme oversimplification of a very complex issue. It's not as simple as somebody was mean to the vet, so they killed themselves. Obviously we should all be kind to each other. That's a no-brainer. Be kind to anyone who, if you're working, you know, someone that's working in customer service, providing service to you, anyone that you meet in your daily life, just be a nice person, you know, that's the basics. There may be times when you want to put in a complaint to the vets, or you're not happy with the treatment they're receiving, you're not happy with the bill. By all means, you can raise concern about that, but do try and do it in a way that's not a personal attack, or that makes somebody feel unsafe, or, you know, is aggressive in any way. But that's not the reason why they've killed themselves. Yeah, it might be a factor, but it's really not. You know, like I said, anyone that's working in customer service is going to receive this kind of abuse. So then it wouldn't add up that the suicide rate for vets is, I can't remember the actual statistics, but way higher than any other profession really. I just saw a statistic just now that said that 1 in 6 vets have considered suicide. I don't know if it might actually even be higher than that, to be honest. I've been in that place before. Luckily I'm not anywhere close to that place right now. So I feel kind of, I don't know, I feel like I can comment on this topic. Obviously different people have different experiences, even if they're feeling the same things. But there's just so many problems in the veterinary industry, the way that the employment works, the working conditions, what's expected of you, that all add into, you know, feeling of despair, feeling like you're trapped, feeling like you've got no other options. When you're in that place of already feeling, you know, clinically depressed, and you having suicidal thoughts, if somebody then is abusive towards you in the workplace or puts in a complaint about you, that is not going to help. And it does become a big issue, and I did, you know, have a little panic around, is somebody going to put in a complaint? I was always paranoid that somebody was going to put in a complaint every case I was dealing with, which was compounding the situation. So obviously, like I said, if you do need to complain, do it nicely. But the veterinary business also has a responsibility to handle complaints and aggressive clients in an appropriate way. So many times I've seen clients that are aggressive, threatening, awful people, really making vets feel unsafe. There have been times when I've been forced to do a consultation with somebody that makes me feel unsafe, and there's been times when I've asked my friend, look, can you come in the room with me because I don't feel safe around this guy. Why are these clients not being banned? You know, there's things that you can do. You can say that this person can't come in the vets anymore, we'll treat the pet, but somebody else has got to bring it in, etc. And then when you get a complaint in, you know, I've had workplaces where somebody's written in a really nasty email about you personally, and they'll just print it off and pop it in your pigeonhole, and that's not what you want to read on Monday morning when you come in to work. That's gonna just put you in an awful mood and make you feel like you're a bad vet, etc. So you know, it's the role of manager, practice manager, whether they're a vet or not, whether they're clinically practicing, because a lot of you know, vets, even if they are the manager, they don't actually really work within the team anymore. They're just a purely managerial role, so they can stay a little bit removed from it. The complaint's not about them personally, and they can deal with it. They can let the vet know in a nice way, a concern has been raised about X, Y, and Z case, can we discuss about it? But you don't have to be directly receiving that abusive message. Also, you know, the working conditions, the rates of pay. I know somebody's going to pop up in the comments that vets get paid loads. It's not true. It's probably around the average. If you look up the average salary in the UK, that's probably about what a vet gets paid. So, you know, it's not horrendous, but also if you've studied that long and you're working crazy hours, you know, the hours that somebody's working as a vet to earn that wage are probably a lot more than what the average person is. And everything else that comes with the job, you kind of expect to be able to afford, you know, to go on holiday once or twice a year, to have a glass of wine after a tough day, stuff like that. I personally couldn't afford to just maintain a basic sort of lifestyle on single vet salary, and that's had personal consequences for me in terms of debt and stuff like that. So, you know, I think a lot of veterinary professionals are suffering with debt and with financial difficulties, which obviously does increase the risk of suicidal thoughts. That's a known risk factor. There's also issues with lack of support from above. Bullying is a huge problem. I've been personally bullied by senior vets, so it's more likely that it's actually one of your colleagues that's bullying you and harassing you than a member of the public, to be honest with you. I've worked in more than one job where there's bullying been going on. And the working hours as well. There's a reason why I will never work in first opinion day practice as a vet anymore. Luckily for me, I seem to be doing quite well working nights. Yeah, I'm working 7 nights in a row. That's pretty rough, but it's better than working, you know, a lot of rotas, because they require the normal day staff to cover the weekend. A lot of places where I've worked, you end up working, 16 days in a row, 16 10-hour shifts in a row, and those shifts are horrendously busy. You don't have time to look after yourself. When you come home that evening, you don't have the energy to make yourself some dinner, you don't have energy to exercise, you don't have energy to walk your dogs. You never see the sunlight in the winter. You might get 1 or 2 half days thrown in, but that's the time that you need in order to do basic things like laundry, like cleaning your house, and sometimes the fact that it's built up over a period of 16 days, you can imagine the state that your house will be in at that point. You don't even have the energy to do that on your day off, so you just leave it like that, and you just lie on the sofa and contemplate your life and think about all the cases that you've seen that week and how you could have done better, and is such and such going to complain, and so on. Obviously the emotional toll as well of the actual work itself. We're dealing with life and death situations. Well, obviously animal lovers perform a deep attachment with animals, even if we've just met your pet that day and we've started treating them, especially when it's a serious condition or a very intense case. We do get emotionally involved. When a pet dies, from a cardiac arrest or sepsis or something like that during the treatment, rather than being put down, they actually die. That is the absolute worst feeling that you can ever have as a veterinary professional, and that will affect you. Personally, it's just what it is, and that it was a situation like that for me which eventually caused me to have almost, you could say, a breakdown and quit my job working days because I couldn't cope with that anymore. And then that's happened, and then you've got people coming up to you, so and so's on the phone, what's the plan with this case? You've got a consult in 5 minutes, and you literally can't because you're on the floor crying, but you're expected to just carry on. Euthanasia, even of a healthy animal, of an older animal that's led a good life, and it's the best thing for that animal, is still an incredibly painful experience. Even if you're not emotionally attached to that personal animal, just being around a family that's grieving, if you have any amount of empathy, will take a toll on you, especially when you're doing that multiple times a day, and then you've got to turn around and put your happy face on for the new puppy that's coming in 5 minutes later. Or you could be dealing with euthanasia, and then 5 minutes later you have got someone complaining at you. So you can see how these things add up. So I could probably go on, I could talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of problems in the industry. Employees are not treated well. The working conditions are not good. What's expected of you is absolutely ridiculous. It's not feasible. There's a reason why most vets are chronically understaffed, most vet practices. So it's not as simple as just be kind to the vet when you go in. We actually need to kind of overhaul our whole industry. I don't know if anyone's even got the energy to do that. You're fighting a big battle against multinational companies coming in, buying up vets, just trying to make a profit, and you're just one of their pawns and you're replaceable. So there's a lot of issues going on, and it's very serious, and the situation has been at breaking point for many years now, and nothing really has been done about it. You could say I'm not doing anything about it either. Maybe that's true. I'm just trying to look after myself at this point because that's all I can do. Because this profession has already taken a lot from me. So I've thought about it before, things that I can do. Starting up a practice that's more realistic, that treats its employees like actual human beings. But at the end of the day, I just don't know if I even want to work in this industry anymore. I can just about tolerate doing nights. It's okay. If I could do something else, then I probably would. Sorry if that's depressing. Thank you for listening if you got this far. Yeah, do be nice to your vets. But know that if you did make a complaint, if you lost your temper, if you got upset about something, and that vet killed himself a couple of weeks later, it's not your fault either. They're already suffering with a lot of things. But everything that we can do does help. So, thank you for listening to my rant, and I hope you have a good day, I guess. And if you're a vet or veterinary professional, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think we can do about it, because I don't have the answers. But I just need to put it out there that it's not that simple and it's not that easy. And you're not going to prevent veterinary suicide by just being a smiley face when you come in for your appointment. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you later.